All right, welcome to NFL Nexus. And look, we're not here to just throw another random mock draft at the wall to see what sticks. Nope. Today, we are diving deep into a meticulously crafted blueprint, a real vision for how the Tennessee Titans could build a legitimate championship contender in a single weekend. This is the question, right? It's the multi-million-dollar question that every single GM in the league loses sleep over come April. It's the puzzle that really separates the great franchises from the just good ones. And today, we're not just throwing out ideas. We're exploring a detailed, strategic answer made specifically for the Tennessee Titans. So let's set the scene. It's Combine Week in Indy. The entire NFL world is just buzzing with rumors, speculation. You can practically feel the energy. And for Titans GM Mike Bergonzi, this is so much more than just another offseason. Man, this is one of those moments that could really define the next decade of Titans football. The pressure, it's got to be through the roof. Here's the game plan for today. We're going to start with a quick glimpse into the 2026 landscape. Then we'll dive into a game-changing first-round pick. After that, we'll analyze a really slick Day 2 trade, break down the depths they add on Day 3, and then explore a surprising Will Levis X Factor. And finally, we'll ask, is this the team's new foundation? Okay, let's dive right in. Picture this. It's February 23rd, 2026. The Titans, they're sitting there holding the 4th overall pick. That's a spot with immense power and a ton of scrutiny. The choices they're about to make won't just fill holes on the roster. They're going to have ripple effects for years and years to come. The stakes could not be higher. So, up at the top of the draft, all eyes are on this amazing trio of elite edge rushers. And this is really where the whole blueprint kicks off. With that 4th pick, the Titans are facing a decision that won't just select a player. It's going to declare the entire philosophy of their defense moving forward. So this slide right here, it perfectly lays out the crossroads the Titans are facing. It's your classic draft day dilemma. Over on the left, you've got David Bailey from Texas Tech. Think pure speed. This is the guy who can bend the corner and just live in the opponent's backfield. The problem? Well, in the NFL, you have to earn your right to rush the passer by stopping the run, and that's the huge question mark on him. Then you've got Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami. He's a powerhouse, just a tenacious player with a motor that never quits. Scouts love his floor. He's a super safe bet to be a solid pro. But where does he play? Is he a full-time DE, or does he have to slide inside? That uncertainty can make teams nervous. And finally, on the right, you have Arvell Reese. A lot of scouts will tell you he's the best pure football player of the bunch, but he's a true hybrid, which brings its own set of challenges and opportunities. And the pick is in. With the 4th overall selection in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Arvell Reese, the hybrid edge rusher from Ohio State. Wow, this is more than just a name on a card, folks. This is a statement. It's a bet on truly transcendent talent and a crystal-clear vision for the kind of versatile, modern defense they want to build. Okay, so what's the deal with Reese? What makes him so special? Well, for starters, he's not your traditional, hand-in-the-dirt defensive end. He's a true defensive weapon. He can attack from multiple angles, he can drop back in coverage, he can dominate against the run. Think of him like a defensive chess piece. Imagine it's 3rd and long. The offense has no clue if Reese is going to blitz, spy the QB, or drop into the flat. That's the kind of schematic nightmare he creates. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. To unlock all that potential, you have to have a creative defensive scheme. You can't just stick him in a box. You have to build the defense around him. And see, this is why the pick makes all the sense in the world. It's not just about drafting a freak athlete. It's about finding that perfect fit. With a defensive mind like head coach Robert Saleh running the show, the Titans have the ideal coach to design a scheme that totally unleashes Reese. Saleh's entire history shows he knows how to use these multifaceted players to create confusion and mismatches. It's a perfect marriage of talent and coaching, turning what could be a risk into a massive, massive reward. All right. Day 1 is officially in the books. The Titans have their cornerstone on defense, but listen, the action is just heating up. As we roll into Day 2, the Titans make a bold move that's going to have a huge impact on the rest of their draft, and it really shows you their whole philosophy on team building. So the second Day 2 kicks off, you just know GM Mike Bergonzi is working those phones. He's looking at his board, he sees a tier of players he loves, and he knows other teams are starting to get a little antsy. He spots an opportunity to cash in on the demand for players at the top of the 2nd round, and he's looking to do what he does best, stockpile valuable draft picks. Okay, so here's the deal they strike, and man, is it a beauty for Tennessee. They trade back just 5 spots in the second round with Kansas City, moving from pick 35 down to 40. But in doing so, they managed to turn a 5th-round pick, number 140, into a way more valuable 3rd-round pick, number 74. Let me say that again. They moved back 5 spots to basically jump up 66 spots with another pick. That is just a brilliant piece of business to get more high-end draft capital. You gotta understand, this trade isn't just about this one draft. It's way bigger than that. It's part of this multi-year grand strategy. The Titans front office has a very clear goal: get 12 picks inside the top 100 over a 3-year span. Now, why is that number so important? Well, because draft history proves that the top 100 is where you find the overwhelming majority of your long-term starters and stars. It's about playing the numbers game. The more swings you get in that range, the better your chances of hitting on foundational players, all on cheap rookie deals. This is how you build a deep, talented, and sustainable roster that can compete year in and year out. So, after that slick move to trade down, the Titans are back on the clock at number 40. And what do? They double down on that defense. They grab Gabe Jacas, a powerful, disruptive edge rusher from Illinois, adding another huge piece to their defensive front. And this creates a really fascinating 1-2 punch with their 1st-round pick. This is great. If you think of Arvell Reese as the surgical scalpel on this defense, well, Gabe Jacas, he's the sledgehammer. He is all about that raw, physical, punch-you-in-the-mouth mentality on the defensive line. He's the guy who's going to set the edge in the run game with just brute force and collapse the pocket with sheer power. Now, he's still got to develop his pass rush moves, add a little more finesse to his game for sure, but his raw strength and his motor make him an absolute nightmare for offensive linemen. He just establishes a whole new physical identity for this Titans defense. Okay, now with their first pick in the 3rd round, number 66 overall, the Titans pivot over to the offense, and man, do they make an interesting pick here. They select Malachi Fields, a wide receiver from Notre Dame who has scouts and analysts completely divided. This is a total swing for the fences. Yeah, Malachi Fields is the definition of a boom or bust prospect. You talk to scouts, and they are completely split. Some guys see him as raw, unpolished, struggles to get open against quick corners. Others see a player with this rare combination of size and strength who could become a totally dominant force. He's what we call a boundary X receiver. That's your big body guy who lines up on the outside, often by himself, and is just expected to win one-on-one matchups and contested catches. Think of guys like Mike Evans or T. Higgins. It's definitely high risk, high reward, but it's a gamble on a physical prototype the Titans just don't have, and one that could pay off big time. All right, welcome to day 3. You always hear it, but it's true. This is where championships are often won. The focus totally shifts now. It's not about finding superstars anymore. It's about building out that deep, competitive roster. These are the picks that give you the foundation for sustained success, the guys who contribute on special teams and fight for starting jobs down the road. Okay, this is where things get really smart. I love this strategy. Instead of, putting all their eggs in one basket at corner, the Titans use that pick they got from the Chiefs and another one later on to attack the position from completely different angles. First, in the 3rd round, they take Devin Moore. He is the physical specimen you would drop in a lab. 6'3", long arms, incredible speed. He's a bit of a project, sure, some medical questions, and he needs to work on his man coverage, but his upside is just through the roof. Then, way later in the 6th round, they add Hezekiah Masses. He might not have those ideal physical tools, he's a little slender, but his on-field production is just undeniable. The guy led the entire country in passes defended. So, by drafting both the high-potential athlete and the proven playmaker, the Titans are hedging their bets. It's a masterclass in roster construction. The rest of day 3 is all about finding value in guys who can fill very specific roles. In the 4th round, they add Sam Roush, a Nashville native who gets to come home. He's a classic Y tight end, your traditional inline guy who is a mauler in the run game, but also has reliable hands. He's a crucial piece for any team that wants to be physical. In the 5th, they bring in Mike Washington Jr., a powerful 228-pound running back who adds incredible depth and a physical punch to that backfield. And finally, in the 7th round, they take a flyer on Luke Altmaier, a developmental quarterback with 3 years of starting experience in college who can just learn and grow in that QB room. Every pick has a clear purpose. So the draft itself might be over, but hold on, because the team building is not done, not by a long shot. There's this huge potential wild card in this whole blueprint, and it centers around a guy already on the team, backup quarterback Will Levis. Now, to really get why this is such a big deal, we got to talk about trade stock. It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, right? But it's super important. It's not just about how good a player is. It's about their perceived value around the league. And that value is a mix of their contract, their age, their potential, and maybe most importantly, the simple economics of supply and demand. And when it comes to quarterbacks, demand always outweighs supply. Okay, so there is a potential perfect storm brewing that could send Will Levis's trade value absolutely soaring. Let's break this down because it's pretty wild. First off, the upcoming free agent and draft classes for quarterbacks, they're looking really, really weak. There just aren't many starting caliber guys available. Second, with a full year to sit and develop, he's now further removed from the memory of his early struggles as a starter. Time has a way of making teams forget the bad and focus on the good. In his case, the elite physical traits. And finally, working under a top offensive mind like Brian Daboll, a guy known for developing QBs, Levis has a chance to rehab his image. In a market that is starving for quarterback talent, a young guy with his arm strength and starting experience could become an incredibly hot commodity, potentially netting the Titans a huge return for their backup. Okay, so after this whirlwind weekend, a ton of draft picks, a savvy trade, what's the bottom line? What does this new foundation for the Tennessee Titans actually look like? Let's step back and take a look at the big picture. Let's just recap this haul one more time. They get their hybrid defensive star in Reese. They get his powerful bookend in Jackus, completely transforming their pass rush. They add that high-potential, big-bodied receiver in Fields, a player type they desperately needed. They totally revamped the corner room with that brilliant high-low strategy. And they added key depth all across the board on day 3. And the cherry on top, the very real possibility of getting even more premium picks by trading Will Levis. This is a comprehensive, strategic overhaul of the roster. Which brings us to the ultimate question, right? Is this the blueprint? Is this combination of moves enough to transform the Titans into a true, legitimate contender in the AFC? Have they done enough to infuse this roster with the kind of high-end talent and quality depth you need to compete with the best of the best? The plan is in place. The pieces are on the board. Now we just have to see if it all comes together. And that's going to do it for this deep dive here on NFL Nexus. Hey, if you enjoyed this blueprint, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and definitely drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. Did we get it right? What would you have done differently? We want to hear from you. And hey, one last thing before you go. A really great way to help support the channel is by checking out our new coloring books. Seriously, they're perfect for everybody, kids, grandkids, even adults. They're a ton of fun for all ages. You can find the link right in the description below or just scan the QR code on your screen now. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.